Where is the Bitcoin bottom on this current correction? Let's talk about this in a lot of detail. It'll make things a lot simple and you won't really worry about what's going on if you understand the macro price predicament that Bitcoin is currently in. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like this video if you enjoy content like this going forward, then let's dive right into it. So if we think about Bitcoin's price action through the lens of this black channel right over here, so let's forget about everything about this chart really. Let's just talk about this black trend line right over here and this black top trend line, and then we'll be talking in a bit more detail about this channel. So this black channel bottom, this is where Bitcoin needs to weekly candle close above, and that represents the price point of $58,450, roughly speaking. So this is exactly where Bitcoin needs to weekly candle close above to preserve the bottom of this channel as support, because we've weekly closed above the channel bottom last week to break back into the channel after a period of 3 weeks below the channel. We've broken back into the channel and now we're pulling back into the bottom of the channel to turn it into a new support. So we broke this channel bottom as resistance and now we're turning it into support. And this retest is now in progress. It's in the process of occurring and it has to weekly close above $58,450, roughly speaking, for that retest to be successful. We've seen similar retests like this in the past. However, this is probably the best retest that just displays to us what we're looking for. A weekly close above the channel bottom and then turning that back into support before appreciating towards the upside across the channel. So any sort of downside deviation into the orange box here, this represents the bargain buying zone. So we've seen so many downside wicks, even on retests of the channel bottom, volatile retests across this period of a few months. We've even seen downside deviations in candle bodied form and this downside deviation as well before we've managed to reclaim this channel bottom. We're now retesting it and we've formed a higher low here over the past several weeks. So this higher low is also approximately a confluence support with the channel bottom here. So a weekly close above the channel bottom, that's also going to be quite important to preserving this series of high lows that we're seeing here on the price action, which represent premium buying behavior compared to what was in early July, now then going into August and now September. Premium buying behavior, as you can see, this was aggressive premium buying behavior, but according to candle bodied closes, we're seeing strong premium buying behavior over the past several weeks. And as long as we continue to hold the bottom of this channel and this higher low, then this premium buying behavior is going to continue to persist. And if we do get that weekly close, we're going to see appreciation all the way back to this newly formed lower high resistance, which we need to break to enable expansion all the way to the top of this black downtrending channel. And this red region here is the opposite of what we have in this orange bargain buying zone. This is the orange bargain buying zone where buyers are interested in catching a bargain, and this is also where sellers are capitulating and panic selling. This is also where we see seller exhaustion, where the sell side selling just can't persist. It can't keep going on simply because there is no more strength in the sellers. We need to see balance get instilled in the market, and when we see seller exhaustion, it's easy for the buyers to step in at a bargain price and push the price action towards the upside. So this is the red region, which represents the point of maximum financial risk, where we see FOMO buyers unfortunately buying at the top and then getting essentially trapped in their positions because we see sellers step in, and sellers have the most strength right over here. So while bargain buyers have the most strength here to push price up after a period of prolonged selling, unfortunately sellers have the strength here to push price into a downtrend, and buyers run out of steam right over here. And these upside wicks just evidence to us that FOMO buyers, people who FOMO into the market, emotionally get trapped here and unfortunately hold through a downtrend and lose money, especially if they realize their transactions. And over here is the channel top. It represents the price point of approximately 67,500 maybe at this price at this moment in time because this is a declining resistance representing lower and lower price points for Bitcoin. So for the time being, we need to reclaim the bottom of this channel right now to enable a rally to this lower high, to break this lower high and get back here. And this is probably where we could reject, although if we get a weekly close above the top of this channel, maybe that would actually cause a breakout from this downtrending channel and enable a move into new all-time highs and beyond. But this channel bottom, what's it all about when it comes to this green region? Because that's the green region that we haven't explained. And it's very simple on the monthly time frame here, because this green region is what was once upon a time a resistance area, a point of rejection where we simply topped out in 2021. But now, for the past 6 months almost, we've been holding this same point of rejection as a new support for a very long time. It's been quite regular and frequent that we've been seeing successful retesting of this area as support. And of course, panic selling, capitulation, strong FUD, maximum pessimism, sellers selling like crazy, enabling bargain buying bulls to step into the market to enable price appreciation towards the upside. These downside wicks are extremes in price action, and they showcase extreme forms of emotion. And this is just showcasing to you extreme fervent emotions, maximum pessimism, maximum uncertainty and doubt, extreme fear which precede financial opportunity. These downside wicks are the point of maximum opportunity, and we've simply been able to hold this area of support successfully over the past 6 months while producing these periods of maximum panic. But it's really important for price to simply hold above the bottom of this green region. So you can see that we're slightly slipping away from that moment, and 58,500 is going to be the bottom of that green region. So we're not far away at all from a monthly close above this price point to reclaim that historical demand area and to reclaim also the bottom of this weekly channel and also this higher low premium buying support here. So there is a very good chance of monthly closing above this green box here to preserve this support for yet another month, because we've been holding here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in total. Continued price stability here is exactly what's needed to propel price into an uptrend from this point and hopefully into price discovery and new all-time highs. Because historically speaking, this chart in particular just showcases to us that Bitcoin tends to consolidate and reaccumulate around old all-time highs. Old all-time highs are the black horizontals here, and you can see these green circles just showcase reaccumulation periods. And this is, of course, the longest reaccumulation moment that we've ever seen around these moments in the cycle. So yes, this is the longest reaccumulation period in the cycle. It's a fairly sideways range between 71.5K to maybe the low 60s, high 50s. But we've seen reaccumulation periods before. They've been quite short in the past. If we consider 2020, very short reaccumulation period before price expansion occurred to new all-time highs and beyond. In 2017, we saw a zigzagging range. This was quite a lengthy reaccumulation range as well before price appreciated to new all-time highs and beyond. And here we didn't really see a reaccumulation range. But the point I'm making here is that we are in a reaccumulation range right now around old all-time highs, and historically we've seen breakouts to new all-time highs and beyond. And in the past, in 2013 for example, this price expansion saw an uptrend last 273 days, getting us to new all-time highs, price discovery, before finally topping out in the bull market and entering a year-long bear market. Right over here in 2017, it took 250 days to see price appreciation beyond old all-time highs, go into price discovery and reach that bull market top before entering a bear trend for a year once again. And here in 2020, the same thing happened. Price appreciation for a total of 330 days, roughly speaking. This was the longest price appreciation that we've seen in history, from old all-time highs to new all-time highs, and the bull market peak afterwards, seeing a year-long bear trend once again. So this is an interesting point in the market cycle for Bitcoin, because breaking these old all-time highs of 69k roughly, even 71.5k roughly speaking, breaking those highs would enable a rally to new all-time highs and price discovery, which could last 250 days at the least, mimicking 2017 timeframe. But it could also be a maximum of 330 days, mimicking 2021 analytics. So which is it going to be? Because we really need to know to time our exits at the bull market top. But it just showcases to us that the closer we get to 250 days and 300 days especially, that's when we should be dollar cost averaging out of the market. And we really need to be cognizant of the fact that there are diminishing returns. Just notice how from old all-time highs to new all-time highs in the 2013 cycle, those returns simply diminished cycle to cycle, as you can see here. So how much are they diminishing by? That's something worth measuring, but they are going to diminish. And let's say they diminish by 50%, then that gets us into maybe the 100k with some surplus, the 100k region for Bitcoin. So that's something we could potentially aim for, but it's also really important to aim for exiting the market once we've experienced an uptrend between 250 days to 300 days. Of course, there is a moment. This is essentially the point of maximum financial risk, but also we're going to see parabolic price action as well, because near the end of the bull market, we tend to see quite a lot of upside as well. Especially in earlier market cycles, you can see price really gain and go parabolic, and this is where the most money is made, which is why selling a little bit earlier is also risky, because you leave money on the table. But just conservatively speaking, 250 days after the old all-time high breach into a parabolic run, 250 days after that point to 330 days, that's where the money is going to probably be made, but it's also the point of maximum financial risk. And it depends on when we break this old all-time high. Because if we break it in September, then 250 days from then, that's going to get us into summer of 2025, maybe July. 329 days would get us, should we break in September, that would get us maybe into August next year. So it really does depend when we break this old all-time high region, and then the clock starts from then, 250 to 330 days from that moment. And based on when we break out here, it's going to be really important to start the timer 250 to 330 days, and then we'd be able to, roughly speaking, be able to pinpoint the bull market peak. But the most important thing for Bitcoin at this moment in time is to simply preserve this reaccumulation range, because as long as we do that, that's going to enable price appreciation towards the upside into new all-time highs and beyond, into the bull market peak 250 to 330 days down the line, before enduring a bear trend where we see a loss in valuation in Bitcoin from 77% roughly speaking to maybe 84.5%. An average bear market correction lasts a year and can be as deep as 84.5%. It was 77% in this previous bear market. So maybe we are seeing a diminishing in those bear trends, but they do last a year nonetheless. So really important not to get shaken out from this reaccumulation stage, because this is the reaccumulation phase that precedes parabolic upside in the Bitcoin bull market. So don't get shaken out. Be patient. People are going to be impatient, and that's going to be why they sell out right now and lose money, and they won't be able to capitalize on those returns that still lay ahead in this bull market. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like this video if you enjoy content like this going forward. I'm Rex Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.